Hello, my friends. Boomy here once again with another video for you, my SWTOR brothers and sisters. How's everyone doing today in a galaxy far, far, far? Nope, still no news. But hey, happy anniversary. Away. This is your first time on the channel. Make sure you hit the subscribe button for all your SWTOR fun news, sometimes guides, and updates right here, right now. And hey, if you want to become a member of the channel, do so, because if you do, you get to have early access to all the videos, and you get a monthly podcast, and probably more down the line when I get my new computer. Anyways, my friends, that's right, I said in the beginning package, there is no news. There is nothing. They haven't said anything about this alleged live stream that's supposed to happen in February. People are saying the end of February. I'm starting to think the people over there in Austin think this is a leap year, so we'll get it February 29th. Who knows? But while we were waiting for that, we might not have realized, and I like to thank my dear friend over there, Star Wars Central, for pointing this out, that on February 15th of 2022, that's when 7.0 Legacy of the Sith launched. That's right. It launched over about 3 years ago. But if you really think about it, the whole storyline with Malgipoo started in 2019 with Onslaught. I was there at the Cantina live streaming when they announced it, so it's almost been about 6 years with the whole storyline that we're somewhat currently in. Onslaught was part 1, and one could argue Legacy of the Sith, or Mandalorian if you want to call it that, is part 2. So what all came with 7.0, right? Well, we got a new flashpoint on Elam. We got a new planet or new zone on the planet of Manon. It was there. We had some stuff sprinkled here as well, but then we had other updates come. Now, I'm not going to go through the whole alphabet updates. There's been tons of those. We're just going to hit the major ones. We're going to take a deep dive a little bit on how long we've had that in between patches. So we had 7.1 that came out in August 2nd of 2022. That was digging deep. That was there. We dug deep and we found not much at all. And we've got, half an hour to 40 minutes of gameplay. And then we were like, oh, cool. Party on. Cool. Hashar, whatever. The green Twi'lek. I can't even remember her name. The story is so forgettable at this point. And on that note, the story might not be so forgettable if it wasn't for the fact there's such massive, breaks in between the patches and the story. If it was just like a normal MMO cadence between patches, we'd probably remember what the hell happened. But more than likely, she and her brother did survive the big crash, big boom that we got in the last update, not 7.6, but I believe it was 7.5. They survived. Believe me, they didn't write it. The team did not write well enough to where you actually thought there was a cliffhanger. I'm just saying that right now. So yeah, 7.1 came out in August, and you had 7.2 that came out December 13th of 2022. So right there, you had about a 4-month gap in between, and that's okay, I guess. That's fine. I'll let that slide. A lot of games, World of Warcraft does 6 to 8 weeks between patches, but larger team, I know, apples to oranges. I can already hear the comments. And then we had 7.3 that came out June 13th of 2023, Old Wounds. That's right, it did its thing. We had 7.4 that came out December 15th of 2023, Chains in the Dark. And right there, you're looking at almost 6-month gap in between spaces. Now, yes, there was a holiday, and when the holidays happen, the devs go running and screaming. But then they come back, and they're supposed to do their work. And then we had 7.4, Chains in the Dark, that came around December 15th, of 2023, that landed there as well. So with not in, just a little over a year, he had 3 major content patches, so that's fun. And then we had a 7.5, which came out on May 29th of 2024, Desperate Defiance. That came out there as well. And then you had on the 10th of December, 7.6. And within that, we didn't get much at all. We had some new dynamic encounters. That's brand new to the game, so we're going to add that lump in there. But within the whole 7.0 thing, we got some story. Big spaces in between. We got a raid, the R4 anomaly. We had the flashpoint on Elam, like we talked about, a new zone on Manon, which we talked about, dynamic encounters, which are actually, I think, are pretty cool. And then sprinkled upon that, we got ourselves date nights, or as I like to call, little pet projects that the devs thought would be really, really cool and ignored the rest of us while we said, we just want story content. What is this? We don't care too much about this. Lana, why won't you freaking marry me? Sorry, my doctor said I shouldn't talk about that anymore. And of course, I'd be remiss to not talk about the event, the Dantooine spring event that came in the beginning of summer, which skipped spring. But that thing, you can dance around a maypole in August and September, which, yeah. Who does your research? But hey, it's Dantooine. They have different traditions. I'm not here to knock that. You Dantooinese people, party on to you. So that is pretty much what we've gotten in this whole 3-year cycle. We have enough content in the 3-year cycle that would primarily come in 1 patch or 2 patches of an expansion, of a regular expansion, whether if it were any other MMO other than Star Wars The Old Republic. And yes, I know their teams are small, budget, blah, blah, blah. I know, I've heard it, I get it, I sympathize. But we have landed on that 3-year anniversary, and we're still waiting for this story to end. It doesn't look like this story has any end date at all, especially with the delay in story content with 7.6, and allegedly because of the voice actor strike. I mean, outside of that, there's really not any other reason why. At least I truly hope not. I don't know, maybe they went back and rewrote everything when the whole backlash of the KOTOR cutscenes thing happened, and they didn't understand why we didn't like it. And it took 3 devs to come out and try to explain it, and that still didn't work. Who knows what's going on, because they don't say anything. They don't really talk to the community anymore. They don't. Their silence is freaking loud. So as we sit here and as we're waiting for news about what's going to happen in 7.7, are we going to get a continuation of the story that we're supposed to get in 7.6? Is that going to be pigeonholed into 7.7, or are things going to be delayed? We sit here on the mark of the anniversary of 3 years with Legacy of the Sith, and there's not much Sith going on in Legacy of the Sith. We're really just dealing with the Mandalorian spit spat type civil war that's going on, and that's pretty much what we're doing. That's literally really all I remember about the whole kit and caboodle. So what have you been doing in your 3 years to 7.0? What would you have liked to see, and what would you like to see with 7.7? And when do you think we'll get this live stream? Do you think the devs over there in Austin forgot that it's not leap year, and they're planning on giving us this live stream on February 29th, when in reality, that's not this year? Either way, put your thoughts in the comment section below. I want to hear all the things that keep the conversation going on down there. Make sure you hit that like button, the share button, that bell notification button. It really helps out with the algorithm, gets to reach out there further, so that the truth of my beard will reach even more planets as we continue on. And of course, make sure you hit the subscribe button, become part of the family here at Boomy Nation, the Freak Show YouTube, the black sheep of gaming. And as always, my friends, remember to be kind. It's about community, and don't forget to spay and neuter your Wookiees. We'll see you later, my friends, and may the Force serve you well.